Okay. We are talking about chapter 4. We're talking about Democritus. Democritus coined the word atom. Right? And somebody said, where are you from?
American and Dutch.
American and Dutch. A lot of bilingual folks in here. I like that. You know, you're not confused. You're bilingual. I like that. Excellent. You speak Portuguese and Spanish?
I understand Spanish and I speak Portuguese.
Do you speak both?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course you speak English, we can tell. But
Yeah, but he speaks English as well.
trilingual. I speak just English, basically. I mean, I know a little Spanish, but it's only enough to get in trouble. How many people in here are bilingual? Raise your hand. Meaning you know at least two languages, somewhat. Okay. How many people are trilingual? Raise your hand.
You could understand it.
At least understand it. Trilingual in terms of at least understanding it. That's more than half the class. How many people are quadrilingual?
Like,
Is that a word?
I understand.
Yeah. I got like 3 hands. Well, 2.5. Yeah. You're not quite ready yet to make a decision. Yeah. You got 4. We got 3 people. We got 4, 5 maybe. 5 people who speak. Anybody speak 5 languages in here?
Understand.
Speak or understand 5 languages. Speak or understand. We've got 2 people are raising their hand. Any people speak 6 languages in here? She's counting. I like that. I like
Yeah, I
that.
understand.
She speaks so many languages she actually has to count them on her fingers. I like that. How many? 6?
Oh, yeah, 6, yeah.
6? You're okay? I mean,
Understand.
just enough to get by. We're not going to call it we're not going to call it bilingual or lingual, whatever.
I'm like 5.
Yeah.
We're doing just
5?
understanding the basics.
Yeah, just being able, understand it. Yeah, 5, 6. Yeah, we got the hands are going up. If you say, yeah, unbelievable. Okay, so, but Democritus came up with the word atom, and atom is actually from a Greek word, atomos, which means indivisible. And someone just asked a question, said, well, if atom means indestructible, or the smallest piece, is really what Democritus meant. This is what Democritus said. That the smallest piece of matter is called an atom. And that atom, you can't break that atom down. It's the smallest a piece of matter can be. Clear? Now, this young man just asked the question, well, if that's true, how can you have splitting the atom? Well, the answer is this, that if I have an atom, we'll call it atom A. That's it. We'll call that an element. Okay? We'll call that an element. And I split it. I'm going to get 2 smaller atoms, aren't I? But they're going to be B and C. Are they going to be the same as A? No, it's B and C. So in other words, for an atom to maintain the integrity of its identity, its smallest unit is an atom. If I split the atom, all bets are off. I make littler atoms. And it's a wonderful question. Where did all the atoms come from? Anybody? Yes?
Parts of stars.
Stardust. And we're going to talk about stardust. We're going to talk about how there's a theory, it's just a theory, the Big Bang, and the universe is literally billions of light years in diameter. Okay? And what's a light year?
Distance,
Yes.
the distance light travels in the
So it's not a time thing.
No.
It's a distance thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the amount light travels in 1 year. So can you imagine billions of light years? That would be a lot. Correct? That's a lot. So the universe is continually expanding. So can you imagine the energy that was released when the universe was the size of a penny or a dirham or a grain of sand? And the entire universe at one time was that size. The energy that's required. So can you understand how atoms and elements might have been made through that incredible explosion? That's exactly where the atoms came from, and we're going to talk about that even more. Clear? Yes?
What was the question again? For the email. And what is your email?
The question is, ask somebody after class.
What was your email?
I didn't tell you.
What can we find?
I'm going to wait until I'm off camera, so I don't take up a zillion minutes talking about that. But I understand. I will answer your question. Clear? Okay. Let's look at water. That's water. Water is what we call a bent molecule. It's an angular molecule. It has approximately 109 degrees. It's approximately 109 degrees, okay? And it's fixed. And I know what the properties of water are. How many people can name at least one property of water? Anybody? What is it? Yes, Sam.
Its native state is liquid.
Native state is liquid. You mean like at room temperature?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, I'll buy that. It's native state, or it's at room temperature. It's a liquid. What else? Freezing point. Anybody? 0 degrees Celsius. Boiling point. 100 degrees Celsius. It has a specific heat capacity of 4.18 joules per gram degree Celsius. That means absolutely nothing to them. But it's a property of water. There are many properties of water, yes.
Is it reactive to sodium?
It's reactive to sodium. I like that. It's reactive to sodium. Excellent. It's clear. It's colorless. It's odorless. Do you know that I heard once, maybe you want to verify this? Can you verify this for me? Yes? And email me. I'll give you my email later. I heard that dogs can smell water. Dogs can actually smell water. They have hundreds of times more sensitive smell. So it has an odor maybe, right? So do you understand that it has properties? Yes or no?
Yes.
Now if I take water and I do chemistry to it, okay? I produce what? Oxygen and hydrogen. I take water, I produce hydrogen and oxygen, correct? Okay, good. Now, name me some, just a couple, properties of hydrogen and oxygen. Name to me some properties of hydrogen and oxygen. At room temperature, they're gases, right? If I mix them together and light a match, they explode. They react with iron and make it rust. Correct?
Yeah.
All kinds of properties. Is water the same as oxygen? Is the water the same as oxygen? No. This is H2O. This is oxygen. And this is hydrogen. Right? They're different, aren't they? Correct? So, when you study chemistry, is chemistry the study of splitting the atom? Is that what chemistry is? No. Did I split the atom to go from water to oxygen and hydrogen? Did I split the atom? No, I didn't. I did not split the atom. So what did I do?
You combine atoms?
I combined atoms. I uncombined atoms. What is the study of chemistry? I want to know, in simple terms, what is the study of chemistry? Are you ready? I'll give you a hint. You ready? You ready? This is the study of chemistry. You ready? You know what I'm hitting my head with?
Algebra.
Algebra book. Yes, Algebra 1. Sorry. What am I hitting? You know what I'm hitting my head with? Am I hitting my head with a nucleus? Am I hitting my head with nuclei? Nuclei is plural for nucleus. I think that's like Latin or Greek, right? Greek, is that Greek? Nuclei?
thing.
The dog thing. Oh, we got a dog thing. Yes, carry on. He's really into this lesson. I like that. Yes.
It says most websites say no one's really sure, but they can smell through water or whatever.
They can smell water. They're not really sure.
Yeah, no one knows, but there's theories that they.
There's theories that they can smell water. Excellent. I like that. Andy.
They can smell other things that probably we didn't know, like they can smell diabetes. Cancer.
Yeah, they can spell diabetes, cancer. There are dogs being trained. So odor, and what are the odors? What are the odors made of? What's in the odor?
Atoms.
Yeah, atoms, chemicals. That's what we're studying, right? So, but what am I hitting my head with? What am I hitting my head with? I'm hitting my head with,
Elements.
no, I'm hitting my head with electrons. Do electrons have a mass?
No.
Well, they do, but it's really small. Really small. So what, you know what we say? We say that an electron does not have a mass. So we say that an electron has a -1 charge, and we say that it has a 0 mass. Yes, it has a mass, but it's so small we say it doesn't have a mass. We say that a proton is a +1 charge, and that it has a mass of 1, we call it AMU. You ever hear of a kilogram?
Yeah.
What's a kilogram? It's just a thing, right? It's just something, right? It's a measure. It's a measure. Well, instead of kilogram, we call it AMU. It's like really small, an AMU. Okay? But this has a 0 AMU. Right? You okay with that? And then a neutron has no charge, and it's 1 AMU, like the proton. Okay, you all right with that? Where am I going with this? Well, what I'm saying to you is that the study of chemistry is the study of electrons. That's what chemistry is. Chemistry is not the study of the nucleus. The study of the nucleus is nuclear physics. The study of chemistry is the study of electrons. And you have a nucleus, and then you have these orbiting shells, right? Okay, this is a familiar representation of an atom, yes or no?
Yes.
It's not, there's a lot of problems with it based on what we know today, but are you okay with that model? Okay, it's named after a scientist, and I'm going to ask you what scientist that's named after that model on Sunday, okay? But the point is that what's on the inside of an atom? What's it called on the inside of an atom? The nucleus is on the inside of the atom. What's on the outside of the atom? What's on the outside of the atom? The electrons. So if I do this, Andy, right? If I do this, am I hitting my head with a nucleus? What am I hitting my head with? Electrons.
At all, because the electrons are pushing away your electrons, so they can't touch the opposites attract.
Okay, well, we're getting very technical. He says that, well, you have this electron on the book hitting the electron on my head, and negatives repel each other, and they actually don't touch. Well, maybe, that's fair enough. But the point is this. If they don't touch, isn't there a force hitting my head? And that force is what? That force R is what? Is formed by the electrons, yes?
Yeah.
So they're it's hitting my head. So what's actually hitting my head, or almost hitting my head?
Yeah.
Electrons. That thing without mass. That thing that we're saying doesn't have any mass is actually hitting my head.
But it has mass.
Well, that's one thing we're going to talk about. What is the significance of what I just said? But chemistry is the study of the electron. That's what chemistry is. Chemistry is not the study of the nucleus. Chemistry is the study of the electron. Now, is the nucleus important? Yes. Why? Because there's a charge in the nucleus that will affect the electrons that orbit it. But you will see very shortly that the electrons are what we actually study. Clear? So Democritus was right. If I split an atom, I can split an atom. He said you couldn't split it. But if I split an atom, you don't have that atom anymore. If I split an atom of uranium, I don't have uranium anymore. I have two lighter elements. But if I take chemistry and I say water equals oxygen and hydrogen, is it still consistent with what Democritus said? Yeah, because I can break water down to its individual elements. You see that? So chemistry is not the study of changing elements, it's simply a study of rearranging elements. You get it?
Yeah.
It's real important, guys. We're off. Okay, is that good? Okay, we'll do one more maybe.